Hi, welcome back. In this week's conversation, we talk about SEO. What is SEO? Keywords and metadata, and the Yoast plugin. So, stick around. And let's start by defining what is SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and it is the practice of increasing the volume of traffic in a certain website through an organic search. That is, visitors that come directly from a Google search. That is done by inserting a certain amount of keywords and metadata in your website, so it gets indexed by Google. Google has bots that visit your website and pick up those tiny little words, and then they will enter in Google's database, and when a certain person search for something that contains those words, Google picks up your website and provides the link for your website in their search. Now, the secret is how you get your website to be the first one on Google's list. To get your website on top of the list, you need to, first of all, ascertain exactly what services do you provide and choose carefully the words that may be on your possible client's research. So what you should do is looking at your website and think on your customer's perspective. So what would you want your customer to be looking for? So if you, for example, like myself, you offer translation, you maybe put translation. However, I don't think the word translation by itself would get you on the top of the list, because that word would be competing with all the translators that might be. And obviously, it's a very broad word that obviously won't get you into the top. So there is several types of keywords. That's what these words are called. And you will find that the more specific you get, the more chances you have from being on top or close to the top. Of course, bigger companies may pay and have other arrangements that will help them to get to the top, but you can do it yourself, and you can actually improve your SEO rating by simple steps. And one of those is choosing the words. For example, there is a type of word, keyword combination called long tail key phrases that are very specific and obviously will cater for a little niche. Let's imagine if I put translator, it's a very broad word, and I would be competing probably with all translators because it doesn't differentiate anything in here. Even if I put translators in Sydney, for example, which is the city where I live, that will restrain a little bit, so I would be competing with less websites because I would be competing only with colleagues that actually are based in Sydney. However, it would be still very broad. But for example, if I put one of those long tail keys and I would say NATI certified translator in Sydney, then I would just tighten up a little bit more. And if, for example, I put aviation expert translator in Sydney or in the suburb where I live, obviously, if, for example, I put the suburb where I live, it would definitely bring down the search. But just thinking of these keywords like that won't be the key. You have to think about what your possible client will be searching for. So if they want local or whatever services they want, your specialization may come into play. And the combination of all this research, you'll make a list of words that you ascertain on this study, and then start ticking off those you think are too wide or too broader to get to a list that will hopefully get your clients to your website. And let's talk about Yoast plugin. Yoast plugin, you can see on my WordPress dashboard. It's on the plugins tab, and I've got the Yoast Premium. There's also a free version, but I believe the premium version would be worth it, since it will give you access to all the features in the plugin, such as the possibility of having your posts on social media specialized and slightly different from what would appear on your website, which I think is very important, as you can set different images, a different title, different metadata, and it will be an extremely useful tool. So the plugin itself, it's not very expensive. It's about $89 per annum per year. So it would be a good investment on your website. So let's have a quick look at the plugins dashboard. So you would have your tag on your WordPress dashboard, and here you will find, as you can see, I've got all my settings configured, have no problem. So notifications, the plugin will give you notifications if there's anything you need to do. And here you'll see the features that you have to configure. I won't go into detail about them. And webmaster tools, where, for example, if you have a verification code of any of the search engines, that's where you would insert it. So let's put it to the test. And here, for example, let's choose one of my articles. And as you could see, there is I'm going to go back and show you. As you can see, there's the color scheme on the list of your posts, and one column, this column will refer to the score in regards to SEO. So your SEO score, what Yoast gives you as SEO, and the readability score. You will find that in the readability, you will have to, some posts will have green, such as the one that I was opening and the one I'm open, but a few posts, and you will find that in the readability, sometimes you won't get the green light, and that is because the plugin itself won't like a few uses of, for example, the passive voice and other types of language that he wouldn't like, and therefore the readability score would be a little bit lower. I usually focus on my SEO, but obviously I also try to get a green score on my readability. Sometimes it doesn't happen. As you can see on this particular post, I have a green for readability and for SEO. This would be the title of my post, an active member, and here would be the body of my post itself. I'm gonna go back because I pressed on my page builder plugin by mistake. So let's have a look, and let's scroll down and see the SEO section on our post page. So if we scroll down, we will see our SEO section on our post page. There you have your focus key phrase, which is usually should be the title of the post or page. And then you have your Google preview. On the Google preview, you will see how it will appear on a Google search. Let's click here so we can see how we can modify it. It will have the title of the post or page, the title of your page, and I usually add translation services because it will give my visitors a little bit more information about what updated words is. Then you have the slug, which usually is a copy of the title and your key phrase. Updated words and WordPress usually do that automatically, and I would recommend that you let it blank so it will be created automatically. And then you have the meta description, which is a little resume of what your post or page is about. Again, you should start with your key phrase, an active member for my case, and then you do a little resume of what it is about, enticing your viewers to go and visit the page. Then, as you can see, and I mentioned before, you can also set up a different title, so a different key phrase for Facebook or LinkedIn, and a different metadata with a different description. Again, if you choose a different title on Facebook title, you should also start with that particular title. You can set up an image. In my case, I usually choose updated words logo, but you can choose a different image for each of your posts, so you would have a different image. Let's go back to our SEO, and you will see now. Let's go to the SEO analysis, which is the last bit of our SEO thing. And you will have Yoast will list all the things that it believes you can improve. In my case, there's 4 red dots for that, and then all the green dots, all the things that you have done well. Once you have verified all of this and you have the ranking that you want, all you need to do is update, and your post will be updated and again will be indexed. You can still use your tags because it also helps. You use it in social media, and you can also use it for your posts in your website. I wouldn't quite recommend it in the case of pages. And that's it for the Yoast plugin. And it's all for today. I hope the video has helped you, and you are now capable of dealing with SEO in your web page with no issues. But if you have any questions that you would like to ask, please leave a comment below. Share, why not? Please share so we make our conversations even bigger, and subscribe the channel, and you'll get a notification of any new conversations. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Have a good one. See you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.